From this tutorial, we will start new series for electronics engineers. In this tutorial, we will create alarm circuit for drinking water. Click here, scroll down and click on AutoCAD ISO.dwt. I will show you what is my unit setting. For units, type UN, enter. Then length type is decimal, precision is 4 digits. Then angle type is decimal degrees and precision is 0. Then insertion scale is millimeter. So I will be keeping all the default setting as it is. Click on OK. Then my grids are on. Then object snap tracking is on. Then object snap is on. Click on this arrow. I have selected endpoint, midpoint, center, quadrant, intersection and extension object snaps. So these are my settings. At first we will create this circle and this line. Click on circle, click center point, take your cursor away and click. We will be creating freehand circuits. We are not using any dimensions. Click on line, click on this quadrant point. For straight line, click on ortho mode. Once it becomes blue, that means it is on. When ortho mode is on, your line will come straight. Then specify second point. I will click here, enter. Then I will copy this circle. Click on copy. Select this circle, enter. Then specify base point. For base point, I will choose this quadrant. Then second point will be this end point and we will place one more here. Enter. Then we will need one line here. For that, click on line. Then to catch point here, you will have to use nearest object snap. For selecting nearest object snap, press shift, then right click, and from this list you can select nearest. Click on nearest, then click here. Nearest object snap, select the points wherever we click. So I will click here. Then for inclined line, make ortho off. Then take your cursor on this side and click and press enter. And zoom minus. Then next is this line. To shift this UCS icon, type UCS icon, enter. Then click on no origin. Then click on line. Then click on this quadrant point. Make ortho on. Then take cursor on this side and click and enter. Then we will create this rectangle. Click on rectangle. Then specify first point. Then take your cursor below and click. Then next is to create these two lines. Click on line. Click on this endpoint. Take your cursor below. Now it is showing endpoint object snap. We don't want endpoint object snap. We want to create it straight. So what you can do, you can take your cursor to this endpoint. Don't click there and take it away. So it will track that point. Click there. Now our line is straight. Click, enter. We can mirror this line here. So it will come exactly opposite on this side. Click on mirror. Select this line, enter, then specify first point of mirror line. So our mirror line will be in the center. Therefore we will take this midpoint. Click there, take your cursor below, ensure that your line is straight and click. and press enter. So here these two lines are created. Then we will create this horizontal line and vertical line. Again click on line, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, take your cursor on this side. We will create this line in line with this switch. Click here, take it below and click enter. Then next is this line, press enter. You can press enter to repeat the last command. Press enter, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take your cursor on this side, click, take it below, then zoom it. Now here we want to create a register. Make ortho off, take your cursor on this side, click, take on this side and click, and one more on this side. You can track this endpoint and click and enter. Then we will copy this, click on copy, select these two lines, enter. Then base point will be this endpoint and second point will be these endpoints. Click on it, enter. Now this has become larger. We will have to make it smaller. We can make it smaller using scale command. Click on scale, select this object. You can use window selection. For window selection you have to click on left side in empty space and take your cursor on the right side. All the complete object inside this blue window will be selected. Click there, then enter. Then base point will be this end point. Then we will give scale factor. To reduce the size of the object, you will have to give scale factor less than 1. So here I will specify scale factor of 0.8. Enter. Now it is still looking larger. We will further reduce the scale. Click on scale, select this object, enter, specify base point. We will make it 0.7. Enter. Okay. Then we will need one more line here. What we will do, we will extend this line up to this line. Click on extend, click on this arrow, click on extend. Then this line will be our boundary line. Select it, enter, then click on this line, press enter. Then zoom it, then trim the unwanted objects. For trim you can type TR, enter. Then specify boundary edges for trim. So I want to trim up to this line and up to this line, and I want to trim this line with reference to this line. Press enter, click on the objects to be removed and press enter, zoom minus. So this is also ready. Then next is this side. We will create this line, then we will create this capacitor. Click on line, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, take it on the right side, make ortho on and click and press enter. Press enter to repeat the line command. Take your cursor to this endpoint, take it above, click, then take it below and click and enter. Then we need one arc here. For that, click on 3-point arc, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take your cursor on this side, click, then make ortho off, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take your cursor on this side and click, then again take your cursor to this endpoint and click. Now it is looking smaller. We can increase the size using scale command. Click on scale, select this object, enter, then base point will be this midpoint, then give the scale of 1.3. To increase the size of the object, you will have to give scale more than 1. Press enter. Okay. Then again this line and this figure. Click on line, Then take your cursor to this endpoint, drag this endpoint, zoom it, click, zoom minus, then make ortho on, then click, enter. Then for this speaker, we will create this rectangle, click on rectangle, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take it above, click, and take it on this right side and click. Then again click on line, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, then make ortho off, then take your cursor on this side and click. Then take your cursor to this midpoint, drag that point, click, enter. Then we will mirror it, click on mirror, select these objects, enter, then specify first point of mirror line, it will be this endpoint. Click, then take your cursor on the right side and click, then click on no, then zoom minus. So this speaker is also ready. Then this line up to this point and ahead up to this line. Again click on line, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take it above, click, then make ortho on, then click here, zoom minus, take it below, click, then take on this side, then we want to make it up to this line, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below and click and press enter. Then we need same circle below, click on copy, select this circle, enter, click on this endpoint, take it below and click on this endpoint, enter. Then we will create this portion. Click on line, then take your cursor to this intersection point, take it below, click, take it below and click, enter. Then zoom there, then again click on line, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it outside and click, take on this side and click and press enter. Then we will mirror this, click on mirror, select this object, enter. Then first point of mirror line, we will click here, we will keep some gap, click here, take your cursor on the right side, ensure that your line is straight, click and click on no. Then we want to extend it up to this line. For that, click on this line, click on this blue grip, take it below. Then we need to create it perpendicular to this line. For that, press shift plus right click, then click on perpendicular and click on this line. Press escape. So this is ready. Then we need one line here for ground. Again click on line, then take your cursor to this intersection point, take it below, click, then take your cursor to this end point, drag that point, click, then take it below, click, enter. Then we will create this ground symbol, click on line, take your cursor to this end point, take it outside, click, click, enter. Then again enter, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, click, enter, enter, drag this endpoint, click, click, enter, enter, then again create this last line, enter. Then we will mirror this, click on mirror, select this object, enter, click on this endpoint, take your cursor below and click and enter. So here ground symbol is ready. Then this one we can copy this one. Click on copy, select this object, enter, then specify base point here, take your cursor on this side and click enter. Then we will create these two lines. Click on line, take your cursor to this end point, take it above, click, then take it outside and click enter, then zoom it, then again enter, take your cursor to this end point, take it below, click, then take your cursor to this end point, track that point and click, then press enter, then click on this line, click on this grip, then click on this end point, press escape. Then this line and arrow, click on line, click on this end point, take your cursor below and click and enter. Then to create the arrow, click on line, click on this end point, take your cursor on left side, click, then make ortho off, then take your cursor to this end point, take it below and click and enter. Then click on mirror, select this object, enter, click on this end point, take it below, enter. Then to fill this arrow, click on hatch, then select solid, then click inside this arrow, click on close hatch creation, zoom minus. Then to place these points, for that we will use donut command. Click on draw, click on donut, then specify inside diameter of donut. We don't want inside circle, therefore here you will have to specify 0, enter. Then for outside diameter, actually we will specify it freehand, so click here and click here, so it is around 55. Then click on the points, so I want here, here and here, press escape. Then next is one register here, we can copy this, click on copy, select this object, enter, specify base point, take your cursor outside and click and press enter. Then we will have to rotate it, click on rotate, select this object, enter, then specify base point, take your cursor above, ensure that it is straight, click, then we will move it, click on move, select this object, enter, click on this end point, then take your cursor to this midpoint and track that point and click. Then we will have to trim this line, for that type tr, enter, then select this line and this line as a boundary line, then press enter, then click on this object, then press enter, zoom minus. Then to create this water alarm sensor, for that we will use ellipse. Click on ellipse, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below and click, then make ortho on, then click here, take it above and click. Then one more ellipse is required inside, we will offset this, click on offset, press enter, click on this ellipse, take your cursor inside and click enter. Then these vertical lines and this rectangle, click on line, click on this quadrant point, take your cursor below and click and press enter. Then we will offset this line, click on offset, then press enter, then select this line and click on this midpoint Then again select this line, then this endpoint, select this line, this endpoint, quadrant point, enter. Then we need this donut, we will copy it, click on copy, select this donut, enter, then specify this center point as a base point, click, then click on this endpoint, enter. Then click on rectangle, then click first point here and second point here. Then we want this rectangle to be hidden. For that, click here on layer properties, click on new layer, then name it as hidden, then click on continuous, click on load, then scroll it down until hidden is shown, click on hidden, OK, select hidden, OK. Then close this dialog box, then select this rectangle, click here and click on hidden, press escape. Now it is converted to hidden, but gap between lines is very small. To increase the gap, type LTS for line type scale, enter, then increase the scale factor. Suppose I will make it 5, enter. Still I will have to increase it, press enter, I will make it 15, enter, zoom minus. So almost everything is ready. Now what is remained is text. Zoom here. Then for text, click on multi-line text. Then specify first point, take your cursor on this side and click. Now here we will write this 9 volt. Then type +9 capital V. Then click outside. Now this text is very smaller, zoom it. Then double click on it. Then select the text and increase the size. We will make it 20, enter, click outside. I think we will further have to increase it. Double click, select it, make it 100, enter, click outside. Okay, a little bit more, select it and make it 130, enter, click outside. Okay, now it is alright. Then we will copy this text at every position we want. Click on copy, select this text, enter, specify base point, then make ortho off and click here. Okay, enter. Then we will edit it. For edit, just double click on it and change the text. So it is S1 on off switch. Select it, then type S1, enter, on/off, enter, switch. Then we want this center aligned. Select this text and make it center aligned. Click outside. Then this R256K, double click, R2, enter, 56K, click outside. Then move it. For move you can type M, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point, take it above and click. Then same way here, R1 10K, R1, enter, 10K, click outside. Then move, enter, select this text, enter, specify base point, take it above and click, zoom minus. Then this numbering, double click it, double click 7. Then to adjust them, just click on them, then press first mouse button and drag it and release it. Just click Then press first mouse button, drag it and place it. So in this way you can arrange them wherever you want them. Or if you are facing any problem with this, you can also use the move command, zoom minus. Then here C3 47 mu 25 volt, double click, C3, enter 47, we will add that symbol 25 volt. Click outside, then move it above, click on move, select this object, enter, specify base point, take it above and click. Then to add the mu symbol, double click, then click here, then click on this symbol, click on this others, then select this system font, and here is the mu symbol. Select, copy, then right click here and paste, then backspace and click outside. So here mu symbol is added. Then we need one text here, copy, enter, select this object, enter, specify this base point and click here. Then we need text here, here and here. Then one text here, then here and here. Enter. So this is ground, GND, click outside. This is also ground, click outside. Then for speaker, LS1 8 ohm 0.5 watt speaker, double click, LS1 8 ohm. For ohm symbol, click here on symbol and click on ohm, then comma 0.5 watt, enter, speaker. Then to make it center line, select it, then click here on center, click outside. Then C2 0.01 mu, double click, select it, C2, enter 0.0. We will increase the size of this box. For that, take your cursor to these inclined lines. Once it shows this inclined arrow, press and hold first mouse button and drag the mouse. Then click here, right click and paste. So mu is already there. Again, take your cursor to this inclined line, press and hold and increase the size. Click outside. Then erase this, E, enter, select this, enter. Then we will copy this here, copy, CO, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point and click here, enter, double click, make it C1, enter, click, then click on it, drag it and place it here. Then to water pipeline, double click, then select it and make it center align, click outside. Then water alarm sensor, double click, then to increase the size, take your cursor on this inclined line, press first mouse button and drag it. Then below it, press enter, mounted on water tap. Then again increase the size, press and hold first mouse button and drag the mouse. Then make it center align, click on center, click outside. Then move it. Before that, we will increase the size of this text. Click on it, click on this arrow and take it on the right side. Then move it, press first mouse button and drag it and place it. Okay. Then we will move this. Click on it. Then press and hold and drag it and place it here. Then we can stretch it and take it above. Click on stretch, then click here, take your cursor above, click, enter, specify base point, make ortho on, take it above and click. Then move this, type M, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point, take it above and click. Then click on it and drag it and place it here. This VCC and R. For that, copy CO, select this object, enter, specify base point, make ortho off. You can also press F8 to turn on and off ortho mode. Click, enter, double click, type VCC, then select the CC and make it subscript. Click. Then here is R, double click, click outside, double click, OP, O/P, click, then this plus sign. So for that again we can copy this text, copy, select, enter, base point, click here, enter, double click and place plus, click outside, move it, move, enter, select this object, enter, specify base point and place it here. Okay, one more text is there, this IC1 LM555. Copy this one, enter, base point, click inside, enter, double click and select it, make it center align, make it bold and increase size 150, enter, click outside, then move it, enter, select object, enter, base point and place it in the center. Now everything is ready. In the next lecture we will learn next set of commands and we will solve exercises based on it, and we will continue our tutorials for electronics, electrical, chemical, civil, mechanical and interior design. So thanks for watching. We will stop here.